Hello everybody and welcome back to Kinlaig. It is March and this is the month when we can actually plant sugarcane. It's not something I normally do, it's also the wrong region for sugarcane, but it doesn't matter. It's a game after all, and it's a crop which I am actually missing because I never do it. So we're going to be planting sugarcane today, but before we do, I do have, well, another massive load of wool to put onto this trailer. We can sell today if we really want to, but the best price is next month. Well, I'll just double check that. It's nearly always April. But yes, as you can see here, yes, we can get 3,368, but the best time is like 3,600. Sometimes you might even squeeze 3,700, or even 800 if you're extremely lucky. So we're going to be ready for April to sell all of the wool, but also all of the fabric, and it's an absolutely ridiculous amount of fabric. Actually, just whilst I remember, what I will do, that didn't fall off, is I will just go down to the spinnery. I need to clear this spawn point. I do not want to be restricting it. I would not be surprised if a load more spawn. Let's just see what happens. Yes, it really is being force-fed with wool. Oh my goodness, and this alone is probably several £100,000. We've already got, well, I don't even know actually, basically a completely overloaded truckload. I don't know how many that would be in pallets. It's 22. There we go, 22. So, yeah, these will all be going onto that trailer next month. Or indeed that trailer, which we could put them on. But for now, yeah, just continuing with this. This is only going to take me a minute. So I'll just do a quick jump cut. And then it will be time to prepare the machinery for sugarcane. And the last one, except for that one, on it goes. Yeah, there's no point putting a partial load on. Okay. Well, I say that. On this occasion there isn't. Sometimes there is. But because we're getting so much of it, it's just not worth it. So that is already 25 pallets. Sorry, 32 pallets. And we've got, to give you an idea of how much we actually have, in the spinnery waiting, we have got 135 pallets. And then in the wool shipping spawn points, we've got 35 pallets. And that one's empty. The one at the farm is empty, so they must have run out of food. Not that we really need more wool, but they haven't. What's going on then? What on earth? I guess it's just taking it from this one first then. I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. So, I'm just gonna... Yeah, we can continue selling that, but of course, there's only so much space we can actually utilise here. Although that has actually used quite a bit. So we will have to bring a few more loads across. I'll tell you what, I'll take the lorry up there so we can get it filling. And then we'll prepare everything for the sugarcane. I think probably for the sugarcane planting, thinking, as much as I want to use the new black quad track of ours, I think probably the JCB is going to be the most suitable. I think. I don't know for sure. But yes, I'll probably prepare that. And I need to bring the JCB back anyway, because it's currently over at the sell point. And it really does not want to be at the sell point. Oh, we're almost out of diesel. I'll just pull over here. Get some diesel. Because, again, I have no intention of selling this lorry. It's very handy. Probably expect it to cost about £1,000 for the fuel, I don't know. I don't know why I always guess. I do, don't I? I always try and guess stuff before something happens, like before I sell something or before I refuel. Good grief. And I'm always so wrong. £376. But I'm wrong in a good way. Because that's a lot less than what I estimated. And here we are at our first field with the billet planter. So I'm going to go across this way, which I might regret, but we need to have a big enough turning area to be able to do this. So yeah, well, I probably should have put grass in actually in the other area. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to put a bit of a curve on it just because the field is not a rectangle. So giving ourselves plenty of space, well, hopefully plenty of space to turn around. And then across here. So yeah, I'm not actually going to plant any of this bottom piece just because it's awkward. I think when we come to harvest day we're going to realise properly why this is important. Because, yeah, I think it is for the best. Like, some people might say, oh, it's such a waste of land. But I think really it's going to be tight. This is not the best field for sugarcane. It was actually an afterthought doing this. The other field is a bit better. So, just the way it's going to be with this. As for the top of the field, again, we're going to have to probably slice off the top. Hopefully this is okay. And you can see how quickly it's consuming the sugarcane. Well, I guess it's a sugarcane billet since it's called a billet planter. Would that be correct? The sugarcane shoots. Yeah, so here we are, getting close to the top. I think we'll just cut across here. Okay. So yeah, we need to plant everything between us and that first pass down the bottom. And if I can put this onto steering assist, that would be good. Alright. Okay, wonderful. Alright, gonna have to just turn a bit here so we've got more space. Try and meet up with where we started. So I think probably take that line there. It does look weird, I know. But I'd like to say it's for the best. I think it is. And yeah, I think this is actually the perfect tractor for the job. I did think it was going to be. You can see there's not much clearance there between the planter and the mud guards, the fenders on the tractor. Really close. And now we just go up and down. Yeah, so I always knew this was going to be a pretty slow job. And the other field is actually quite large. So we'll just have to see how we go. I will have to leave off actually because we're going to have to take the silage to the BJ. There isn't a major rush because the BGA already does have some. But yeah, it needs to be done. It does need to be taken down there at some point. Probably after we've done this field. Really don't know how long it's going to take. Let me turn the lights off. That's better. But we are fertilising as we go. So that does save a job. Not that it was a big job for us anyway, fertilising, but it does save a job. Okay. So, I think before too long we're going to be back down at the store because, yeah, you can see how quickly it is being consumed. It'd be amazing if we have enough just for this field and then we can refill en route to the next field, but would that really go in my favour? Probably not. Well, we've used up everything in the planter, and I've emptied my 2 seed drills that are here, well, the seed drill and the planter that are here as well, and it's still not enough to finish this small area. I'm thinking I actually might be able to use a worker in the other field, because what I could do is just basically plant the limits where we want it to go to, and then just tell it to do it, really, and see what it does. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to do it myself, but it is a bit of a mammoth job. Anyway, I'm going to have to head off. I think it would still be easiest just to take the planter than it would to bring a telehandler up here. This is quite a fast tractor. It is a fast track after all. 45 miles per hour we can do. So that's what we'll do. I'll fill it right up because we're going to need a full load, probably another 3 times at least. Believe it or not. Maybe even 4 actually. Pretty expensive. It does take a lot. It doesn't take much fertilizer, but it does take a lot of seed. I know you can buy pallets of sugarcane just here, but is that, maybe that is actually a much more cost effective. I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? Good grief, I've been doing it wrong. I knew this was here, but for some reason in my head I thought that doing it with seeds was the cheaper option, but it really isn't. What a fool. Right, okay, well we know now. So there we go. There are 2,000, yeah, there's 2,000 litres in each, so yeah, it goes a long way. So it's not expensive at all doing sugarcane. I'm just an oaf. Right, okay, so we'll get all of these into here. Might take a little while. And then we'll be back to the field. Actually, we're almost done. We are almost done at the field, so we'll just quickly finish off at the field. And then, like I said, we need to take the silage to the BGA, but also I need to get the markings done in the next field. I'm pleased I realised this before doing the big field, that's for sure. You see, this is the thing. I very rarely do sugarcane. I think this might even be my first time doing sugarcane in FS25. I'm actually surprised it lets you use seed for sugarcane planters. I suppose it's just, yeah, like if you do have some seed left over, it's handy to be able to do that. Or maybe it's for people like me who, get a little bit confused and, yes, want to put seed in anyway. Come on, number 25, out the way. Mind your rump when you turn. Tail swing. And we're back. So yeah, it's just this side over here, and then this tiny bit, which I missed. So I think, yeah, best thing is I'll see you down at the next field. I'll probably go back to the store en route because it's always going to be best to have a full load to start with. And then I'm just going to mark out the top and the bottom of the field, and then really it's down to the worker to try and fill in the middle. That's probably the most simple description of what's going to happen. Yeah, very simplified description, but hopefully it is not too difficult for the worker. Well, I don't think it's going to work, but we'll give it a go. Let's just see. So hopefully I can leave it for at least 2 minutes, so I can just take the silage, which isn't full. Why is that stopped? That's weird. Okay, you decided to stop. And now you can decide to continue. It's actually switched off, isn't it? I wonder if it's because I went too far away from it. Maybe. Probably, yeah. I think I went too far away, so everything switched off. But there we go. We're back underneath. At least that gives me a bit of time just to check up on this. Right, so this is going to be very interesting to see what it does. Well, it's almost half empty or half full again. I'm going to have to go and get some more. But yeah, I'm happy with my markings. Certainly happy with my markings. That would be ideal if it then came up here. We don't need to do all this. You're continuing, aren't you? You are. You're continuing. I can see I'm going to be doing this myself, aren't I? Well, it's chosen to go back that way, which is kind of weird. Which means I certainly cannot leave it unattended. At least I'll be able to get to the gates. Yeah, this is switched off again. Yeah, we're going to go straight past the field, so come on, 100%. 100% and we'll be on our way. That'll do it. A greenhouse. In the way. Oh, you're back. In which case you've failed. Yes, you've failed. Well done, worker. Right, well, I'm going to tell you to go away, and we can get a new worker. See how well this worker does. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen when we get back, but yeah, I'm prepared to be disappointed. Please don't mess up. Please. We're not going far. Yes, every single hour we're paid for the methane that's produced in that hour. It's usually about £4,000. Well, that's just increasing the amount we've got in there. I don't think it's going to fill it. No, it's not going to fill it because the total capacity is 204,000. And that was 55, and it did have a little bit in it, so that's brought it to 97. Yeah, so almost half full. Okay, I'm not going to even try and drive back because I know it's going to be messing up. Wow. Oh, it is. It's going like that. Well, we might just have to accept that then. But essentially what it's doing is it's not doing the headland like I told it not to. But it's ignoring my markings. But I think it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So let's get some more sugarcane to the field. Just trying to find my thing. Actually, yeah, I could use this, couldn't I? Because this needs to go to the spinnery after that, so we might as well just use the trailer for the sugarcane. And yeah, the dealership now has a telehandler, so we can actually load them up properly without using super strength. And I do think we're going to need, like, I don't know, maybe 16 pallets, 15, 16 pallets. I won't buy 16, I'll buy 12 to begin with, but I would fully anticipate more, even more. Oh yeah, also this is extremely unstable, so don't be surprised if I flip over. my fabric certainly is going for a fun little day trip. But here we are, we've got the sugarcane at the field, which means this can now refill, and the worker is going to be free to continue, mostly in the next episode now. But yeah, I want to see how much silage we have left in the pit, see how many more loads we have to do, and as soon as we are done with that, we can return the conveyor belts, because they are rented. Yeah, good job we had the empty trailer. Soon to be filled up with even more fabric, but that will be sold next month. It's going to be, well, next month is the big month. I just can't even imagine how much money we're going to make. It's going to be crazy. No more debt ever again. I'm sure of it. Here we go then. So that's full. Work can continue, hopefully. We do still have plenty on board, so I will just park this over at the side of the field. Wow, look how much we sunk in. We really sunk in. Oh, tipping again. I told you I was going to tip over. And yep, that's where I need to be. How much do we have? Looks like it's still quite a lot. 143,000 litres. So it's going to be, well, it's going to probably just be a case of completely emptying it in the next episode. 3 lorry loads, and then we'll be done. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you are going to enjoy the different crop to my videos. Anyway, I don't really do sugarcane at all, like I said. So it's going to be a nice change. Yeah, breaking from tradition. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.